Hello, Pauper fans. This is Mathonical, and you're joining me for round 7 of my 6th Pauper Challenge run. As you can see here, this is a completely unkeepable hand. Unfortunately, we only have 2 bounce lands, and that is a no-go. We're going to send this one back. Once again, the double bounce land, very unfortunate. Send that one back as well. And yeah, we'll keep this. Pestilence does give us a chance of getting back into this one, but unfortunately we don't have much else going on. Let's take a look at our top card. Chainer's Edict. Yeah, that's a reasonable keep. We're just going to keep that on top. Just make sure I did, and we did. Okay. Looks like we might be playing against Bogles, and that may come in handy. Unfortunately, he plays 2 Bogles right off the bat. That's a little less fortunate for us. And then we draw a Dead Weight, which is a dead card. I end up not playing the Chainer's Edict there, just because it wasn't going to really do much anyways. And I wanted to get the white source online as soon as possible to give us some blocking chances. Basically, I'm hoping that he'll just attack with both and we'll trade. Unfortunately, he has another Armored Owl Cloak, and that plan is no longer going to work. We're going to get down to Pestilence. We do have the ability to board wipe him next turn if he doesn't go too nuts. He does end up going fairly nuts, and now we're nearly dead on board. I attack hoping that he may block. He doesn't. I'm just going to make him sack his creature, and I'm just going to play this. But all he has to do is attack, and we lose. But unfortunately, we did have to mulligan fairly aggressively there due to having poor hands, and we didn't quite get there. That's alright, though. We'll just jump into game 2. So I'm going to take out the Palace Sentinels. They're pretty slow, and if they ever get online, like Bogles that is, they're going to be able to attack past the Palace Sentinels anyway. That's not that great. Guardian of the Guild Pack is also going to be pretty slow here, and then all of our target removal is no good, so we're taking out most of that. It is reasonable to possibly leave in some number of them. Sometimes they'll have to load up on some of their other creatures. Sometimes they're going to have some of the 1/1 tokens that get produced. Sometimes they'll have plants from the land. But I decided to just really go all in on the Duresses, the Raven's Crime, the Choking Sands package, just to remove their lands, because you can cut them off of colors pretty easily, and to remove the enchantments out of their hands, so that way they end up having not much to put on their creatures. Hopefully, of course, we also bring in the Coalition Honor Guards, because if we get one of those down, it is nearly an auto win. They don't have many ways of dealing with that. So with the sideboarding complete, we will take a look at our opening hand. This is a reasonable keep. I don't have much going on for killing their creatures, but being on the play and having a Pestilence may be good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. Abundant Growth off the top, that's fine. He has his colors online. Guardian, we now have our combo if we can live that long and get it online. Would like to have a sacrifice Chainer's Edict here. Unfortunately, we didn't have it. Ooh, the Coalition Honor Guard. That is exactly what we're looking for, and that is why we were drawing the card off of the clue. We're just going to drop that immediately, and this should be good enough to close out the game already. They're going to continue to get in for some damage with the Ledgewalker, but we're just going to drop the Pestilence, and using that X3 is going to be able to wipe their entire board. I'm going to use it just for 1 right now because it's preventing 1 damage. And here I can get in for some damage, and I'm basically just going to Pestilence away his creature right now. I'm also doing it in this way. You'll notice I used it once, so that way the Thraben Spectre took 1 damage. I then used the Core Skyfisher to bounce it back, used Pestilence 2 more times, and I'm going to replay the Thraben Inspector next turn, and that way I didn't lose any creatures, and was able to remove his board. That is how we managed to win game 2. Everything worked pretty well when we find the Coalition Honor Guard. Jumping into game 3, maybe we can get the luck like that again and draw one of those cards. Taking a look at our opening hand. Once again, this is a reasonable keep. We've got a Duress to disrupt what he's got going on. Choking Sands is good for cutting him off of colors, especially when he tries to enchant them. It also can reduce the power level of his some of his Enchantment Matters cards, and we have a Pestilence to wipe away the board. Gonna go ahead and keep that. Let's see, I cast the Duress here. Curious if it'll pull up. Yeah, there we go. So this is the hand he has. I debated about taking the Abundant Growth, just because if he drops the Abundant Growth on a different land, that does give him the ability to continue to have a white source, but I also really would like to take away at least one of these Armadillo Cloaks, because I'm assuming he's going to get down the Colony Garden very soon, and then he's going to drop Armadillo Cloaks on the Colony plant token. And I'd rather it just be like a 2-3 where I can take my time, Pestilence it away at some point. He does get a redraw with the Abundant Growth, but I do end up just going with the Armadillo Cloak. He goes ahead and plays the Abundant Growth on the land that was already enchanted. That's a little bit of a misplay against a deck you might suspect of having land destruction. We will take advantage of it though. Cycle our Ash Barrens. We're now going to have 3 mana, and we're just going to blow up that land. Now we basically just need to draw a 4th land, so that way we can kill his plants. He's drawing pretty well though. He did end up getting an Ancestral Mask. Currently it's only +2/+2. And now he's drawing very well. 2 of the cards off the top have been Ancestral Masks for him, so now he's got a 10-11 and we're really up against it. I'm going to play the Prismatic Strands here. There was an argument for just letting it go and using it for 2 turns later on, but I wanted it in the graveyard so that way I could leverage it for free and could be using my mana. Right now I'm just trying to... I just basically need one of our Edict effects to get rid of the plant. And a 3rd Ancestral Mask. Wow, this guy's drawing really well. Well, sometimes that's how it rolls. And basically, it is... we need to get an Edict effect or bust. I probably should have cycled the Secluded Step. Oh yeah, because we did have enough life that we were going to survive that. Sorry, my bad. Able to block and survive an additional turn, which draws us 1 more. Gonna cycle the Secluded Step, still didn't find it, get the Thraben Inspector, and we're gonna draw a card, but there's no card here that's gonna really save us, and unfortunately, our opponent just drew really well. They didn't have any white sources, and they drew the 1 enchantment back to back to back that they would be able to play. So sometimes things do not go in your way when you're in these challenges, and that's just how it goes. I would say that I've had some bad luck in this one, and that's okay. I'm just going to keep on playing and making these series. I know I did make some misplays in this one. I'm definitely still learning the Orzhov Pestilence deck. I feel like it is quite a good deck, but it's a little bit more polarizing than the Boros Monarch list. So if you want a list that's a bit more good against the playing field, you got Boros Monarch, but then if you want to beat Boros Monarch, you play this deck. So anyways, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the series. It's a little bit different than one of my regular series. This one does have, we ended up going 3-4 and only getting 34th place, I believe. So no large standings, but if you don't mind us losing once in a while, please let me know and I'll continue to pump out more of these, whether I do well or not. Because I can't do well every single week. Sometimes you just don't quite get there. Anyways, I hope you've all enjoyed it and have yourselves a wonderful day.